Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Today we're going to be talking about how to make 800 horsepower in your Mustang GT. This video is going to be covering the Gen 3 Coyote and the Gen 4 Coyote and how you can make easily 800 horsepower. We're going to be talking about different routes you can take to make that horsepower, how much it's going to cost you, some of the supporting mods you should consider, and some of the reliability concerns that could come across when you're making 800 horsepower in your Mustang GT. With that being said, let's dive right into the video. All right, so let's talk about the routes you can take to get to 800 horsepower on your Mustang GT. Now, coyotes love boost, so we're gonna be using the boost route to get to 800 horsepower in your Mustang GT. Now, there's a couple different boost routes. We're gonna be talking about that. You can turbo it, you can supercharge it. There's different kinds of superchargers. So we're gonna talk about the cost of it and how much horsepower you can expect to get from each of the supercharger and what are the differences. Now, turbo I'm going to exclude from this video because it requires a little bit more custom work and it could really add up in cost if you're not doing your own labor, and it may not be worth it, especially if you're just going to stop at 800. Now, if you have some crazy power goals, turbo is the way to go. But let's talk about the common setups, and that is going to be a supercharger for your Mustang. And let me be clear, I do mean crank horsepower, not wheel horsepower, because all dynos are read differently. So we're gonna use a crank horsepower measure to kind of estimate for the 800 horsepower figure. We're gonna be focusing on two of the most common setups, and that is going to be the ESS kit for your centrifugal supercharger or a positive displacement Whipple supercharger. Those are the two of the most common ones for your 5.0s. Now, if you have a 2018 to 2023 Mustang, you're gonna start off with a 460 horsepower. But if you do have a 2024 and up Mustang, you do get another 20 horsepower. So you start with 480 or 486 if you have the active exhaust. So now to get to 800 horsepower, you're talking about almost 300 more horsepower. Now that does sound a lot, but we'll get there very easily and relatively cheaply compared to some of the other platforms. Like I said, coyotes love boost, and that is for a very, very good reason. Now let's talk about ESS first, because that's the setup I've been considering for my 2019 Mustang GT. So let's talk about which ESS supercharger will get you there easily and make 800 horsepower reliably. So for ESS, you're gonna wanna start off with a G3 kit with a G3 intercooler. You could get a GT500 injectors, a booster pump, and that is pretty much it. Once you got all those, you're obviously going to need a separate tune. Now you can go with whatever tune you want. Vanguard Racing is the GOAT for ESS. You can go with Lund Racing. There's plenty of tuners out there. As long as you're picking some big name, you should be fine. Once you buy that kit with what we talked about with the injectors, the booster pump, a G3 spec kit with the G3 intercooler, you're gonna make around 650-ish to the wheels. And that is completely bone stock car on a Gen 3 without any other modification. If you have a Gen 4 Coyote motor, you're gonna be right around 680, 690 horsepower because they do start off a little bit higher than the Gen 3 Coyote Mustang. Now with the Gen 4, if you account for like about 15% loss, you are right at 800 horsepower because it'll be around 680 wheels that translates to 800 horsepower. Gen 3, you're a little bit short, so if you get long tube headers, which is recommended regardless of which generation you're going with, I'll discuss that later in the video when we talk about reliability. But if you have long tube headers, especially if it's a free flowing exhaust, that will get you around 30 to 35 horsepower. So you'll go from right from 650 wheel horsepower to around 680 wheel horsepower, which again is going to translate onto 800 horsepower at the crank for your Mustang GT. And that setup for ESS is going to run you about $7,000 for the whole kit itself, and then you're going to get a tuner. So right around $8,000 at most, you've got a 800 horsepower Mustang GT. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. There's not many platforms out there where you can spend $8,000 and have 800 horsepower. Now let's talk about how you can do that with Whipple as well, because it's gonna be a little bit more expensive, but there's some benefits to doing it with Whipple versus the ESS kit. Now with Whipple, you don't need anything fancy. You can start off with a stage 1 kit. They do have a stage 1 and stage 2. You could do stage 2, but let's focus on just stage 1 kit for your Gen 3 Coyote, which is rated at 750 crank horsepower. Or you can do Gen 4 Coyote, which is rated at 810 crank horsepower. So both stage 1 kits will get you right there. I mean, with the Gen 4, all you need is a stage 1 kit. It comes with everything you need, including a tune that you can just plug it in and you'll be good to go. Now with the Gen 3, you're gonna be right around 750, but that is on a Whipple can tune. So you don't have to use that tune if you go for any of the custom tuners we just talked about, getting on the 50 horsepower, because Whipple Stage 1 tuner is really conservative. So if you get an aftermarket custom tuner, they can tweak a couple things and you will be right around 800 horsepower with Whipple Stage 1. Now with Whipple, it is going to cost you a little bit more than the ESS. They start right around $9,500, and then you add a tune, so right about 10,500 or maybe 11 grand, you're set. But of course, there's always sales on Whipple around Black Friday. So if you shop smart, you're not going to be too far off from ESS. Now, why would you want to pick Whipple over ESS? Honestly, that comes to personal preference, but the big reason being is with ESS, the power delivery is going to be very linear. It's going to build boost as you go, which is kind of easier on the components. You're not going to break a lot of stuff, but it does come with the downside of that the power is not there down low. Now with a Whipple, you've got instant torque. You're going to have this flat torque curve all the way through red line, but it does come at a cost. The car is always in boost. You're putting a lot more strain on some of the hardware and the suspension, so when you get on it a lot on the lower RPMs, you could potentially break stuff. Now let's talk about some of the supporting mods, because once you get to 800 horsepower, it just does not stop there, unfortunately. Now you can see it's very easy to get to 800 horsepower. It doesn't cost much as some of the other platforms, but you need to consider some of the supporting mods as well. The biggest thing is going to be tires. No summer tire is going to be able to put that power down. At minimum, you're going to need those Nitto R2s, 305, 45, 17 in the rear to be able to put that power down. And even then, you can do it from dig, but second gear rolls, you should be fine. Whipple is going to struggle a little bit more because it's an instant torque versus the ESS is going to build boost as you go, so it gives you a little bit more leeway with the traction. So if you're going to have 800 horsepower, tires are the bare minimum that you need to do. Now, next thing is going to be long tube headers. So you technically don't need long tube headers to be able to make that power unless you have the Gen 3 Coyote, but having a free-flowing exhaust is going to be helpful because that is one of the things the supercharger is going to add a lot of heat. So if you have your cats in place, depending on your driving style, you could end up clogging your cats, which means you could have some serious engine failures without any warning. So my recommendation would be, if you don't have long tube headers, you should look into long tube headers with the free flowing exhaust, or get a high flow cats so you're not dealing with so there's no issues when you're making 800 horsepower and your cats fail and they take the engine with them. Those two I feel like are really recommended. You get some really nice tire that can put the power down so it's not just for show, and you get some high flow cats or remove the cats depending on your emissions so you're not dealing with a potential engine failure. Now, other thing I would recommend is getting your suspension upgraded to be able to put that power down. Now, if you're gonna be racing in Mexico or taking your car to the track, like the drag strip, you wanna make sure you can actually put the power down. So I would recommend revamping your suspension, get some Viking shocks and be able to put the power down. But at minimum, I would say at least get the Steeda Stop the Hop kit, because that's really going to help you put the power down. And the other thing is going to be, especially if you're going to be drag racing a lot, you're going to need to upgrade your axle as well, because when you're putting that kind of power down, you're going to snap your axle. And it's not going to be fun when it happens with the drag strip and you snap your axle. So those supporting mods will allow you to actually enjoy your car a little bit more and not feel like it's just for show or constantly worrying that something is going to break when you're trying to enjoy it or maybe show it off to your friends. So those mods will definitely help you out in terms of putting down the 800 horsepower reliably with your Gen 3 or Gen 4 Coyote motor. But yeah guys, so making 800 horsepower on your Gen 3, Gen 4 Coyote motor Mustang, it is relatively easy and it's not that costly. Just make sure you get some of the supporting mods so you can actually enjoy it and put that 800 horsepower reliably. In terms of reliability, you definitely want to have the high flow cats or free flowing exhaust that is really going to prevent you from some major engine failure. The other mods are really there to be able to put the power down, so you're not just bragging about having an 800 horsepower Mustang, but you're losing to cars with 200, 300 horsepower less compared to the Mustang GT. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button and comment below what are your power goals for your Mustang GT, and of course subscribe to Red 50 for more videos.